Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome to a Friday night. I'm nestled in my home back here in my room where I like to chill out. I watch videos and I like to make videos. And I guess by now we've all seen the news out of West Virginia and the Whitakers and Patrick and Eric. And it's I was rooting for there for a while. I was in Patrick's corner. I wanted none of those allegations to be true, but once those charges are filed, the conversation changes. It's no longer opinion based thinking. There's some facts involved. And that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. The Whitakers are a fascinating family. And I think most of us that don't live in West Virginia saw the Whitakers for the first time through Mark and Soft White Underbelly. And ever since then, we have been fascinated by this inbred family that lives in West Virginia. And then one day, this big guy named Patrick showed up making videos with Timmy. And we've all seen Timmy sitting on that porch, wasting away, not living life, his hand in a bag of chips, looking down. And we all saw that change in Timmy, like a person coming out of the cocoon or their shell and started living life with Patrick. Patrick was taking him all over the place. And, we was rooting for Timmy. With all of these allegations of fraud and abuse, one thing is for sure. Timmy loved Patrick. You could tell the affection that Timmy had for Patrick. Whether Patrick had that same affection for Timmy, I'm not going to pretend to know the content of a man's heart. I do know the content of a man's heart when it comes to money, and money is the root of all evil. There's no debate about that. And so, here we are looking at Patrick in orange. And, it's just unfortunate. 11 charges is a lot. $150,000 bail is a lot. That sounds serious. And I'll be honest, I don't understand how we got here with Patrick for pointing his camera at the Whitakers and filming them, and that turning into money on his Facebook page. But here we are. And it's there's likely to be other charges too. The case ain't closed. And so it'll be interesting to see how all this shakes out. But one thing's for sure, the Whitakers are still as poor as they've ever been. And so it's clear to anybody that watched those videos with Timmy that that he had affection for Patrick. That wasn't faked. Timmy loved him. And because of that relationship, Timmy got off that porch. He went places. Patrick had him all over the place. And we got to see Timmy living and smiling through Patrick's video footage. And at one time we were eating all of that up. Like, we could not get enough of Patrick's videos. All of them were going viral. All of them was making him good money on his Facebook page. And I think that's probably where he saw the sparkle in his eye of where this could go. And I think he realized that he wasn't smart enough to bring all of this to the level that he saw the potential. So here comes Eric. He got in touch with Eric and said, I want to bring you in, introduce you to the family, and we can do this. And so there we were. We were watching Timmy and Ray. They were going places. They were riding in cars, going to the stores, experiencing things that they never had before. And I think that's why those videos blew up. Not because people were laughing at them, but because people liked seeing them live a little. And that's really where things get uncomfortable. And this is where two things can be true at the same time. Someone can do good in a person's life and still cross lines. Someone can improve a vulnerable person's day-to-day experience and still take advantage of the situation. That's what makes this hard to talk about. And those charges, that is some serious charges. And once law enforcement steps in, the conversation changes. This isn't about internet opinion anymore. It's about what can be proven in court. And I'm not here to declare anybody's guilt or innocence, but I do think it's fair to acknowledge this. People weren't wrong for feeling something when they watched those videos. They weren't wrong for rooting for Timmy. They weren't wrong for hoping that this would end well. I hoped it would too. It's disappointing to see it land here, not because we want someone to be above accountability, but because we wanted the story to end with protection and prosecution. What this situation really shows is how dangerous it can be when vulnerable people, money, and good intentions mix without guardrails. And so whatever the truth turns out to be, my hope is simple: that the Whitakers are protected, the truth comes out clean, and the people that learn from this, before it happens again. So, that's my 2 cents on the Whitakers. I have been a silent watcher of the Whitakers for a long time. Like I say, they've been fascinating. They've been poor the whole time. All of this fascination has not changed their situation, and it's not because money it wasn't there. They've squandered their opportunities also. Anyway, I just wanted to weigh in on that because I was rooting for Patrick, and we'll see how this goes for Eric, because he's in the same weeds as Patrick. But one thing's for sure, when Eric left and went back to Georgia, he shut up. He wasn't talking anymore. And maybe that's probably what you're supposed to do when you're under investigation. So anyway, thank y'all for listening. I'm going to dive into this more and see if I can figure out these charges. I'll see y'all later.